This is Rogers Redding, National Coordinator of Football Officials. I'm welcoming you here to number 12 in our series of game video reviews. We've got a lot of great plays this week and a lot of things to think about as you prepare for your games in the upcoming week. And so let's get right to the plays. On this punt return, we have a flag for an illegal blindside block with targeting. You can see this on the line feed, but of course you can see it better on the replays. As always with these targeting fouls, we want to go through the process. Is there an indicator? This is a launch with an attack with forcible contact to the head and neck area, and this is a defensive player. Remember that by definition, the player who receives a blindside block is defenseless. So this is a good call for targeting under Rule 914. This is an illegal blindside block with targeting, and the referee does a nice job in including the word illegal because remember, not all blindside blocks are illegal, but the ones that are forcible contact with an attack mode are the illegal ones. This one includes targeting, so this is a good job by the officials on the field to call this, and a good job by instant replay to confirm the foul.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block with targeting on number 6 of the return team. There's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the return. Correction, 15-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. This play is now under video review. The ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. Number 6 is disqualified for the remainder of the game.
We get a call for a chop block on this play, but this is not a strong foul. The left guard certainly goes low on the defensive player, but the contact by the left tackle is very, very slight. So this really isn't a good, strong chop block, and we probably could have let this one go.
Personal foul, offense, chop block, number 74, number 79. That penalty will be declined, 4th down.
Good call on this roughing the passer foul. You can see that the defender easily could have held up, and instead he takes an extra couple of steps and knocks the quarterback to the ground. Good job to get this. This is not a vicious blow, but the defender easily could have stopped and not hit the quarterback. So good job to get this roughing the passer foul. There are a couple of things to talk about on this play where we get a flag for an illegal block below the waist. Notice that the ball is snapped at the 47-yard line. This block that's in question takes place at the 43-yard line, so that's within 5 yards. However, the flag comes from a deep official. He can't tell exactly where the block takes place, so it's a good job to go ahead and throw the flag. The block is within the 10-2 regime. That would make it illegal if it's beyond 5 yards. But since it is closer than 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, then the crew correctly gets together and picks up the flag, and the referee makes the appropriate announcement. So this is handled well at both ends. It's good to have thrown the flag, but it's also good for the crew to get together and make sure they know where the block took place. And since it was within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage and also within the 10-2 regime, then that makes it a legal block.
There is no foul for an illegal low block below the waist. The foul occurred within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. The result of the play is a first down.
Here we have a ruling on the field of targeting, and of course, as all targeting fouls do, this play goes to review. So let's walk through the process. First of all, do we have an indicator? Remember that the indicators are all involving attacking with forcible contact. It might be lowering of the head, it might be a launch or an upward thrust from a crouch, contact with any part of the body, but it's got to be accompanied by attacking with forcible contact. We don't have that here. There is no indicator. It's a hard hit to the upper body, it's a hard hit to the head and neck area, but there is no indicator. And so since there's no indicator, we can just stop right there. There's no reason to go any further. So this is correctly overturned by the replay official as no targeting.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a catch is confirmed. However, there is no foul for targeting. It's a first down.
We get a call for a face mask foul, but there is no foul here. You can see that there may be some slight contact with the face mask, but remember the rule is that The foul is for grabbing, twisting, and turning the face mask, and that simply doesn't happen here. The hand slips off the face mask, comes down to the jersey, and pulls the player down that way, and that's perfectly legal. So we should have let this one go. This is not a face mask foul.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 30, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
We miss a false start here. You can see that the right guard pulls out too early on this punt play. We've repeated it in slow motion so you can clearly see that the right guard is early leaving the line, so we should have had a flag for a false start. We should have had a flag for intentional grounding. The quarterback is still inside the tackle box when he throws the ball away. He does get it beyond the line of scrimmage, of course, but since he's not left the tackle box yet, then he cannot legally throw the ball away. So we should have had a flag, intentional grounding. This pass play, we have a bit of a communication issue between the officials on the field. You can see that this pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage, and so there would be no foul for defensive pass interference. And when the referee announces that there is no foul because the ball was tipped, he wasn't aware that, in fact, the ruling downfield was for defensive holding and not for defensive pass interference. We see later on in another replay that there is defensive holding, and so this is correctly ruled as a 10-yard penalty and automatic first down because the holding is against an eligible receiver. So this gives us a little teachable moment here.
The ball was tipped. There's no foul on the play.
Referees, be sure that you have all the information available to you, and crew members, make sure that you take responsibility for getting the referee all the information that you have. If you have a flag, don't assume that some other official is going to report your foul to the referee, because that can only lead to miscommunication. So everyone on the crew has responsibility for seeing to it that the referee has all the information that he needs in order to correctly enforce the penalties and make the proper announcement.
Defensive holding by number 11 of the defense. It's a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
On this action, you're going to see a dead ball unsportsmanlike conduct foul against a defensive player for hitting a receiver well after the play is over. And then you're going to see an unsportsmanlike conduct foul on the head coach of the offensive team. These are both correctly called, and the referee is correct to announce that in both cases it's the first on the player and the first on the head coach. The referee announces that the foul's offset. That is true in the sense that if you have dead ball personal fouls or unsportsmanlike conduct fouls, and if the second foul takes place before the penalty for the first foul has been completed, then they offset. That would have been correct. However, notice that they snapped the ball at the 14-yard line, and then they set up for the next play at the 22-yard line. So apparently what happened was they went half the distance to the goal from the 14 to the 7 for the foul by the defensive team, and then they went back the other direction, the full 15 yards to the 22 for the foul by the head coach of the offensive team. The correct location of the succeeding spot would have been the previous spot since the foul's offset. So good job to get both these unsportsmanlike conduct fouls, but incorrect enforcement of the penalty.
From everybody.
Add to the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Iowa, number 4. That's his first of the game. Also, unsportsmanlike conduct on Minnesota, their head coach, his first of the game. It'll be 1st and 10 for Iowa.
Here we have a situation where the coach is coming on the field to protest a call, and we don't flag him. Now, this coach was doing this most of the night, and we didn't try to stop this. We should have a flag on the ground and charge him with unsportsmanlike conduct. The rule specifically says that the coach may not come on the field to protest a call, and that's clearly what he's doing, so we should have some flags on the ground. We get a substitution infraction on the defense, and this is a good call. You can see that there are 12 players in the formation, so this is correctly ruled as a dead ball foul. Remember, it's a dead ball foul if you have 12 or more in formation on the defense. It's a live ball foul if they're still running players off and on. So this is correctly ruled as a dead ball foul for a substitution infraction.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12 players in formation. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Here's an onside kick on a kickoff, and of course on an onside kick there are always lots of things to look for. You got to look for whether or not the ball goes 10 yards before the kickers touch it, and you've also got to watch for blocks by the kicking team before they are eligible to touch the ball, which means either the ball has gone 10 yards or it's touched by the receivers. It's also important to remember that the block before 10 yards is reviewable. That is a foul that can be created by the instant replay booth, and that's what happens in this case. The ball clearly is not touched before it goes 10 yards, but you can see, and this is especially visible on the replay, you can see that number 5 on the kicking team blocks when the ball is at about 9 or 9.5 yards. So good job by replay to come in and create this foul for an illegal block, blocking before the ball has gone 10 yards or before the receiving team touches it. So good work by instant replay here.
After video review, prior to the ball going 10 yards, number 5 of the kicking team illegally blocks his opponent. This is an illegal block, 5 yards to the kicking team. 5-yard penalty to be enforced from the 35-yard line and will re-kick from the 30.
This is good work to be alert to this illegal shift foul. You can see that 2 players start in motion. One of them stops, but the other continues on his motion. And in order for this to be legal, he has to stop for 1 full second. He doesn't do that. He's still moving at the snap. So good job, illegal shift.
Illegal shift, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay, third down.
Okay, on this punt play, we get a good call for running into the kicker. Now, the kicker does go down, but you can see that the defensive player is trying to hold up, contacts him, and the kicker sort of spins down and falls to the ground. So this is a good call for running into the kicker. There's a little confusion about whether or not the penalty is going to be declined because a 5-yard penalty would not give them a first down. And so they finally get it straightened out. They decline the penalty, but this is a correct call for running into the kicker.
Running into the kicker by the defense. He hit the kicking leg. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's fourth down.